What's up, guys? Welcome back. And today I'm going to be doing a little bit of bass fishing. I'm going to use a combination of shiners and some lures. Usually I try to do a little of both, half and half. I like shiners because it's a low stress way to fish and you can just relax, watch your float. And I like watching the bass chase the shiner. But to me, that's part of the fun. It's just giving them a game, giving them something to do that I can watch with the float. To me, it's equally as rewarding as it is lure fishing. I like lure fishing too. And I'll go fish, you know, worms, Senkos, spinner baits, whatnot. But to me, this is just as fun. Anyway, let me show you how I do this. So I'm in the John boat today, not the bay boat, because it's just me. So I have here my Engel cooler, and I've got a few dozen live wild shiners in there, and they're medium. They're going to be medium to medium large size. I like a large shiner. I've got a Lew's crankbait rod, and I like a crankbait rod because it's like I can feel a lot of I guess vibrations really easy, and it's also pretty stiff. It's a stiff rod. This one here is a 7-foot 10-inch medium heavy extra fast rod by Lew's, and of course I'm fishing a speed spool, 7.5 to 1 ratio reel. All I do is I take a shiner hook or a circle hook, works too, about a 2/0. You can go up to 5/0. It's your choice, but this is the size I think that works for me. I'm using 50-pound braid, Beyond braid, and I use these 3-inch corks with double stoppers. And again, it just varies. It depends on what you have and the conditions. Now, these big shiners will take these floats underwater. So to me, I just use it as a visual, not so much as to keep the shiner on the surface, because I want the shiner to get way up under the grass. So you'll see in a minute when I put the shiner out there along the grass line, I want him to try to hide under there, underneath the edge of the weeds, or close to it. That seems to be where the bigger fish stay. They like to stay under that cover. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna hook this shiner and show you how I do this. I actually have a bait net, if you believe it. So what I like to do is I take my hook, take my shiner, and you want to be careful with your shiners. You don't want to beat them up or throw them around. You want to be real careful with them. This one here's got his tail chewed off a little bit. So I just kind of slide the hook through at the bottom at the anal fin, take the scale off, and I'm going to take this shiner, I'm going to cast him out towards the edge. I'm going to let him swim towards the grass. If he doesn't swim towards the grass, I can correct him, which is to say, just mind your shiner. I can kind of let him recast him a time or two. You don't want to do it too much because, again, they are a little fragile. I'm going to let this guy go in there. He's already headed for the grass. That's what I want. Now, I keep my bail open. When the bass hits the shiner and runs, I want him to think he's made it and he's good. So once I know for sure the bass has situated the shiner in his mouth and he's starting to get a real good grip on him, then I'll set the hook and pull him out. That's why I use this heavy braid. I want to make sure he's really good and deep in the cover and he's got that shiner firmly secure in his mouth before I set a hook. So I just let some line out, let that shiner swim up in that grass just like that. And we can set another line out. Normally, I fish 2 lines is about all I can handle, especially if they start biting. Oh, see, now he's pulling on that grass. He's wanting to get under there to hide. Any more than 2 rods is going to be too much for you, and you're going to actually lose fish. Minding 3 rods at a time is a real chore, and it's just not something I recommend. 1 is plenty, 2 is a lot. You can see here he's already wanting to swim off. He's moving that water hyacinth around pretty good. And we're just going to set it up and watch, and then hopefully the fish start biting here. But look how beautiful this is. This is pretty glass as you can imagine. Now I'm fishing this spot because I'm in the John boat, and there's a lot of grass out today, and I have the little outboard. I don't have a mud motor yet, and so I'm kind of limited to where I can go. As you can see behind me, the guys with the Prodigy boats with the surface drives, they kind of go wherever they want, and they get up in the big fish, and that's where I hope to be one day. But right now, this is the rig I have. I got a 14-foot Apex Marine John boat riveted with a 20 horsepower Suzuki 4-stroke, and it's not electric starter, and you just got to pull the rope, and it runs, and it does pretty good. This is my setup. I got a cooler, my bait well, and a bucket, and my tackle box, and that's really all you need. That's what we're doing today. I got one. I think I got something. And as soon as I was rigging my other bait, this one started running. And that's how it works. Which goes back to me saying 2 rods is almost all you can handle. Because the moment you get one set and you turn your back, this one's going to start fighting. So we got a fish on, and I'm pulling the whole grass with me. Maybe he'll come out of this island. I don't know. Ugh. He might be decent. Come here. I don't know what I got. What do I have? It's a fish. How about that, old boy? Oh, mercy. He's stuck in the grass. In the hyacinth. He's stuck in the grass. Look at this old fish. Alright. I got things under control now. How about that fish? How about that, old son? What do you think about that's a good, I'm gonna say 8.5, 9 pounds. It could be more. I'm gonna measure him. Matter of fact, I don't even have my scale with me because the battery's died. Let me do this. Let me do this. If I lay him down right here, he's gonna touch my John boat, and I'm gonna make a scratch where he comes to. Right here. Right there. See that scratch? That's where he goes to, that scratch. He's touching, his chin is touching to right here. That's gotta be double-digit bass. That's a double-digit bass. Look at that, son. Look at that. First fish of the morning on a shiner. How about that? That is a hog. That is an absolute hoss. Woo, son. And the best part of this fish, look how thick it is. Just thick all the way to the tail. I'm gonna let her go. Yes, you heard me. I'm gonna let her go. That's what we do. Bye, sweetie. thank you for fighting. Thank you for allowing me that beautiful fight. Okay, that one literally jumped out of the box when I had the lid open into my net, and I didn't even have to go in after him. So I have a volunteer. Hey buddy, wild red shiner. Okay, wild red shiner. This is how we do it. Get a hold real careful. Take your hook. Hook in the back, I get the scales off, and now he's ready. Now, this is how I pitch him in so that I don't hurt him, and I put him in a spot that's gonna work. Let's see if I can do this holding the camera. I'm pretty sure. I got a little practice. Pop the bail, hold it with your thumb, and you're just gonna pitch the bait like you would if you're slow pitching in heavy cover. Okay, check for knots, and you're just gonna pitch him out there right at the edge. Let that line out. Let the line out. Give him some room to run. Okay, you want him to find cover, but at the same time he's gonna get in there and get scared, and he's nervous. Okay, nervous bait gets eaten. He's gonna get nervous, and he's out of his element. You know, he's not in a place he knows, so he's gonna scurry around and try to find cover. And that's where these big bass hide. They hide way back in there. If you notice, the other thing, the water hyacinth is like a light green lime color, a real light green color. And then you got the wild rice, and the grass is a little bit taller, about maybe 1.5 feet off the surface. That tall thin grass, that's a little bit darker color. So that has some root systems that go down, and it's like if you were to swim under there, it'd be like a matrix of weed mats and root mats and different things, and those bass are hiding in that, and that's how they ambush. Bass are ambush predators. They hide. They use the wind and the current. Right now we have a slight wind at my back, which is perfect. And this little shiner, he's gonna swim back in there and look for help. Where's a good place to hide? And that's what we want, is just to basically present that bait in a way to a big bass that's easy for him to grab and run with. That's how we get them. And so I just set my rod down. Now I don't have rod holders, but I need them. I need rod holders because I got expensive rods on the bottom of the boat. See, that's my shiner. See how he's kind of flipping? Flip, flip, flip. He's looking for a place to hide. He's kind of swimming around, looking around, and I give him some room. You know, I let him run up in there. I'm a line watcher. I watch that line. You know who else does that? Tournament anglers. They watch their rod tip as much as anything, and their line on the water, the slack line on the water. You'll see a twitch or a jerk or a sudden movement where that line hasn't quite broke the surface tension, and that's your indication of a strike. If you don't have a strike indicator or a bobber or whatnot, you're just gonna watch for that. So this kind of fishing, oh, it's too easy. That live bait fishing, that's cheating. It ain't cheating, because here's why. You have to pay constant attention to these lines. Constant attention. Your focus is never stop. You can't look away. You can't look away or you're in trouble. You've lost the battle. The moment you turn your head and you've not focused, you're gonna lose a fish. It's easy to do. All right. Oh. That was a subtle hit. Barely noticed anything, really. And it's a mudfish, of course. Now, mudfish. It's a byproduct of this type of fishing. It does happen. You get them. Stay calm. Oh. I hear a dog chirping. That sounds just like my dog. I got a bird dog. Oh, something hit him. Something hit him. Oh my gosh. Is he on still? Is he on? Oh, mercy. That was instant hit. And he's fighting. Oh my gosh, he's fighting. Oh my gosh. That is a hoss. I got her. Oh. That didn't take long. Oh my goodness gracious. That was quick. What a fish. What a fish. All right. How about this, old girl? I'm guessing somewhere. I got to guess on these because I left my scale. It ran out of battery, so I'm going to guess this fish. I mean, it's probably 20 inches, 22 inches. I'm probably guessing 4.5, 5 pounds, maybe something. Look at that. Not as big as the last one, but it's going to be tough to beat that last one. That last one was a good fish. Mercy, she was pretty. How about that? As pretty as can be. All right. That didn't take but about 60 seconds of fishing to get a hold of that. Nice fish. And there she goes. All right, we're at spot number 2. The main channel is right behind me. It's a deep channel, and then there's some sandy spoils along the channel where they dug it out. So that's typically where bass like to go and find places to bed, is where they got that like shell and sand. And so I'm fishing the edge of that sandy areas along some vegetation and some stumps and things. So we'll give it a few minutes here, and if we don't get a bite, we'll go to another spot. But usually there's a couple fish in this spot. Check it out. Goodness. As soon as I threw it out there, I got a strike. Oh, come on, baby. What do we got? Oh, it's a big girl. It's a big one. It's a big old big one. Don't let go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes. You guys. Oh. This might be my second fish over 10 pounds a day. Holy smokes. Oh, oh my gosh. I gotta set that rod down. Oh, put this back where it goes. I got chaos on the boat. Chaos on the boat. Oh, all right. What do you say about that, old son? Whew, that's a decent fish. Barely hooked. Barely hooked. But hooked nevertheless. Oh my gosh. A pretty sheet. Wow. Once again, I don't have my scale, so I'm gonna have to do the old measure off the boat method. Chin touching the metal there. Now this one ain't quite as big as the last one because that first fish of the day was huge. All right, I got a scratch. I got a scratch in my boat. Chin is touching, and I put a scratch right there. Tail pretty well covers it, but I just put it right kind of in the middle. Touching the edge to the scratch. That's a beautiful fish. Mercy, that's a nice one. Man, goodness gracious, that's a big one. And just like that, she's gone. Oh my gosh, that had to be, I'm just guessing, 8-9 pounds. That's my second fish today over 8 pounds. But a bite slowed down pretty good, and it's about 1:45, so I think I'm gonna pack it up and head in and prepare for our next adventure. Thanks for being with me today and watching this video. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know if this is the kind of fishing you like to do, or maybe you want to see a different kind of fishing. We can do other things. In the meantime, live your best life, and see you on the next one.